This show is not intended for the treatment or prevention of disease, nor as a substitute for medical treatment, nor as an alternative to medical advice. No part herein, nor any statement, act, nor omission made by Cormac Mannion or Amplitude LLC or its agents or affiliates are to be construed as treatment of any medical condition, medical advice, nor to delay necessary medical treatment. Scientific evidence is discussed for informational purposes only. No patient-doctor relationship is formed.
Hey guys, Type-IIx here. This is the 15th episode of Gear Growth and Gains, brought to you by MesoRx, the leading platform for open and unfiltered discussion on enhanced bodybuilding. Members freely share experiences, hold sources accountable, and ensure transparency. No censorship, just real reviews. Visit MesoRx at www.thinksteroids.com/community and start posting. And if you want to subscribe to the Gear Growth and Gains newsletter, visit Type-IIx.substack.com to subscribe, or go to amplitude.com and click sign up for Type-IIx's newsletter. And don't forget to check out @GearGrowthGains, one word, on Telegram. I'm also offering my most valued subscribers early access to the Type-IIx Insider Deal, a special offer for premium content via Substack, the Type-IIx Insider program that includes not only premium exclusive articles not found anywhere else that delve insanely deep into important drug and training topics, but also exclusive ebooks that I'll distribute through Substack and access to Symposiums, my live presentations and Q&As. So this is all happening at typeiix.substack.com/typeiixinsider. And to celebrate the launch of this Type-IIx Insider program premium content, Symposiums, ebooks, and premium articles and podcasts, I'm giving away a limited time 20% off deal for all new Type-IIx Insider sign. My fifth symposium, Symposium 5, will be held Saturday, September 13th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll give links in the private Substack chat on how to access. You must be a subscriber to my Substack to join for the live discussion, to ask questions, and for access to archival footage afterwards. It is insiders only. So if you're already a subscriber or become one, to access the symposium, you will need to download the Substack app on mobile, either Android or iOS. So visit typeiix.substack.com/chat to download and to join my subscriber chat. Symposium 5 sections are as follows. So part 1 is going to be estrogen management for men. Part 2 will be advanced PED periodization strategies and tactics for women. In part 1, estrogen management for men, we'll go beyond aromatase inhibition, talk about SERM modulation strategies, tissue-specific estrogen effects in men, benefits, risks of estrogens as well, talk about optimization of E2 to T ratios for performance versus health, letting E2 ride high intentionally versus letting E2 run low, talk about novel approaches to managing estrogens and gynecomastia in early and late forms. We'll talk about worked examples for open and classic physique competitors. And then in part 2, advanced PED periodization strategies and tactics for women. Give a detailed hormonal cascade specific to females, from the follicular to the luteal phases, considerations post-menopause as well. Talk about virilization prevention strategies beyond compound selection, periodization around the menstrual cycle and fertility preservation, and give worked examples for wellness and figure competitors as well. Okay guys, so in today's podcast, there will be 3 sections. So first, I'll give an analysis of Gregg Valentino's Get the Bucket program. It's basically 4 sets to extreme failure on the leg press, as he gives it. Section number 2 will be a case study, chemical enhancement in elite strongmen, for comparison to average bodybuilding stacks. And section number 3 will be blood glucose management, choosing between Berberine, Metformin, or a GLP-1, mechanisms, risks and benefits, and effects compared. So I was asked to review Gregg Valentino's Get the Bucket program from his YouTube/podcast, and I'll be happy to oblige since I think it's a pretty interesting topic, and he seems like a pretty entertaining guy too. Here he is discussing the Get the Bucket program, 4 sets to extreme failure.
Eat a slice of pizza, bro. New York City pizza. It's the best. It's my home. Lived here my whole life. Born right here in Manhattan. Raised in the Bronx. Get ready for this shit, because I'm coming at you, bro. All right, guys, let's look at this for a second. You're only going to do 4 sets on the leg press. That's it. 4 sets. Okay? We're going to do our first set is going to be with 2 plates on each side. We're going to do it moderate speed, not too slow, not too fast. No rest in the middle of the set. Don't stop to get like fucking 3 seconds or any of that shit. You get a second to grip a gulp of air, that's it. But you gotta do 70 reps is the minimum. Okay, if you can do more, do more. But you must do that with 2 plates on. If you could do 100 reps, I do know a girl that I train that does 100 reps. A girl, okay? She does 100 reps. If you can get 100 reps, that's fine with the 2 plates. Then eventually we're going to drop it to 3 plates. Because 70, I want you to get 70. But still, your first set, you got to do 2 plates on each side. I don't mean 2 plates as in a plate on each side. 2 plates on each side. Okay? You should actually be failing somewhere around 30, 40. And you should be able to squeeze out. The last 30 should be absolute impossible for you. Should be insane. Okay? You got to go all the way up, all the way down. Then you get about 2 minutes. I give it 3 minutes, the very, 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 very most. I do 2 minutes. Let's see if you could do that. Let's compromise, 2.5. Till you do the next set. Set number 2 should be done with 3 plates on each side for 40 reps. 3 plates on each side for 40 reps. All the way up, all the way down. Okay? None of this bullshit. You cannot do half reps. If you do a half rep, it doesn't count. Throw the rep out. Okay? It does not count if you do a half rep. Alright? So you've got to do 40 clean reps. You should be failing around 20. Some of you might fail around 10. But you got to get 40. I don't know how you're going to do it. Even if your friend has to help you, whatever, you push on your legs, and you must go all the way up, all the way down. Same shit with set number 3. Now you're going to have 4 plates on each side. You can do that for 25 reps. You more than likely, you ain't going to get 10. Okay? Not on your own, not clean. You got to do it clean, though. You're going to have to force yourself to get those 25 fucking reps up. And they have to be all the way up, all the way down. No stopping in the middle of the set for like fucking 3 seconds to get your breath. None of that shit. You get a gulp. That's it. You get one. You watch the video that I show you, okay, and that's what you get. All right? That's what you get. I'm going to show you. That's what you get. You get that quick. None of this fucking stopping. All right, I'm gonna do it. None of that shit, bro. No. I'm gonna show you in a video. Fuck that, bro. If you do any of that shit, you're a pussy. Get off those. Go do something else. You don't want big legs. All right? And the 4th set is a little tricky because you're gonna have 5 plates on each side. Okay, we're going to shoot for about 20 reps total, 18 to 20. You should really do 20, I do, okay? But the first 12 to 15 must be done what I call special slow reps. They take 5 to 10 seconds to do each rep, okay? Then the last 5 reps can be done really fast, kind of the burnout, okay? But that, not the last 5 into 15. I'm talking about after you've completed 12 to 15 to get to the number 20, you get those last 5. All right? But from 12 to 15, you cannot do them fast. They must be done 5 to 10 seconds to do each rep. Okay? And all the way up, all the way down. If you cannot get them, you can be assisted. Okay?
All right, so to recap, first set, 2 plates per side for 70 reps. Second set, 3 plates per side for 40 reps. Third set, 4 plates per side for 25 reps. Fourth set, 5 plates each side for 18 to 20 reps. But the first 12 to 15 must be done with a 5 to 10 second tempo. So first of all, this is just way too much. It's definitely excessive muscle damage. I don't like the leg press exercise. I think it's generally a pretty poor exercise. It doesn't have a lot of mechanical disadvantage. You're lugging around all these plates, and you don't get much hypertrophy out of it. So I just don't like it generally, but we'll get into why. So it's virtually assured to cause rhabdomyolysis, this kind of muscle damage, in someone who's strong enough to do it, first of all, but not adapted to these training volumes.
Rhabdo, as it's called, causes kidney failure, and the treatment is emergency dialysis. So what happens is muscle damage, think ALT and AST, leaking from muscle into blood, and systemic poisoning. Now, this says nothing of training status, right? So what if a strong but relative novice attempts this? I just don't even try this if you haven't been training progressively for at least a year with no more than 10 consecutive days total rest in the past 3 months. The special slow reps that Gregg talks about. He doesn't describe what these actually are. He says 50, 10-second reps on 5 to 10 second reps on each rep. Does he mean a 10-second eccentric or lowering, or a 3-second eccentric, 3-second pause at turnover, and 4-second concentric? I mean, these all cause different adaptations. Like a 10-second eccentric is a sure path to excessive muscle damage, especially when overloaded and assisted on the concentric to get the weight back into place. So eccentric contractions are the phase of a dynamic effort or normal rep where the muscle is stretching while shortening, and is usually when you're lowering the weight. This phase of a lift particularly tears down muscle fibers, and what replaces damaged muscle in the process of muscle repair, unlike the process of hypertrophy, is not new muscle tissue, but instead collagen, think scar tissue. So, in conclusion, this is just way too risky for too little real benefit. It reminds me of the 8-hour arm workout that used to go around the lifting circles in the early days on sources like T-Mag or Testosterone Nation magazine. This 8-hour arm workout caused a bunch of acute, immediate volumizing in the biceps via blood occlusion. That was basically cell swelling, and then you just got hurt. You got tennis elbow, biceps tendinopathy affecting you for life, and really actually limiting long-term biceps development. Doing this is like the 8-hour arm workout for your legs that you need to walk. I just think it's a terrible idea. All right, so let's get into section number 2. So we'll do a case study. It will be chemical enhancement of an elite strongman. So this will be a case study of a pro strongman competitor who I was coaching alongside his main coach, a prominent strongman coach who I respect and love but won't mention by name since the athlete was using anabolic androgenic steroids that we were privy to. Big deal, common practice, but not everyone understands. Anyhow, this strongman had the following anthropometrics. So he was 37 years old, 230 pounds or 104.5 kg, 8% body fat. He was 5'10 in height or 177.8 centimeters. So his fat-free mass index or FFMI was 30.56 or elite muscularity for a contest bodybuilder, coming in well over 27 kg per meter squared FFMI. So this elite strongman was not a fat super heavy like they show on television. He was a heavyweight guy who competed on the NPC bodybuilding circuit before taking up the sport and maintained a bodybuilder-like physique in his new sport. There's no reason you cannot. You just need more athleticism than a bodybuilder and sport-specific skills. The training is generally more intense, greater risk of injury, but you can, and in my opinion, should be lean, muscular, and athletic in the sport of strongman. My role was primarily sports-specific to help with his performance in the log clean and press. So what were this strongman's drugs in the 13 weeks leading up to his national contest? So weeks 1 through 10 was 700 milligrams weekly test enanthate, 25 milligrams Monday through Saturday of dianabol or metandionone, 50 milligrams Monday through Saturday of anadrol or oxymethylone, and then weeks 11 through 13 went down to 300 milligrams of test enanthate, 100 milligrams weekly trenbolone acetate, 10 milligrams Monday through Saturday of halotestin or fluoxymesterone. And so this basically was 4 3/4 milligrams per kg up to 12 milligrams per kg per week, which is really just low intermediate dosing, but for a bodybuilder. So weeks 1 to 10 would have been basic strength and appetite/mass gain. Final 3 weeks were peaking with potent androgens for strength, power, aggression, while drying out to make weight. Simple, but effective. Results were profound performance benefit, but also substantial side effects. We saw a strong correlation between trenbolone, even at the supposedly lowish dose, and a reduction to slow wave sleep, or SWS disturbance, as well as heart rate variability, or HRV reduction, in his Whoop data. Sleep and recovery of cardiac fitness went to shit. He went into tachycardia with 190 beats per minute during several high-intensity interval training sessions in the last few weeks before his meet. This is lower doses than bodybuilding. It still had serious side effects. Factors like age and training intensity are a factor, but especially individual response to trenbolone was important.
Hey guys, I don't know what you're doing for your blood work, but if you're using anyone besides Type-IIx, you're lighting money on fire and probably not getting the right biomarkers to boot. This is especially true if LabCorp's within driving distance to you because they're literally 1/3 the price of the competition. Use coupon code Type-IIx, that's TYPE-IIX. It's not case sensitive. You'll save 10%. If all you have nearby is Quest, they're still the best option because while there's like one cheaper company, they don't offer as many biomarkers and they end up not being worth it. So sign up for the Research Labs Insider at fitomix.org. That's FITOMICS.org for by far the best lab work options available in the US, except for New York, New Jersey, and Rhode Island, where self-requisition and blood work isn't legal, at least not yet.
All right, so let's get into section number 3, blood glucose management, choosing between berberine, metformin, or GLP-1, mechanisms, risks, and benefits, and effects compared. So berberine and metformin are both glucose disposal agents, or GDAs, with similar but not identical mechanisms of action. Berberine, sometimes abbreviated as BBR, is a plant alkaloid with antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties that has some efficacy to treat hyperlipidemia and hypertension. These benefits are very interesting for a bodybuilder who's using anabolic androgenic steroids. Berberine's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects protects organs like the liver by scavenging reactive oxygen species, or ROS, and the Achilles heel of androgen users is dyslipidemia, including increased LDL and high blood pressure. So both metformin, a biguanide drug, and berberine increase glucose uptake partly due to AMPK activation, in turn increasing GLUT1 expression, which, like GLUT4 and insulin, increases glucose uptake. AMPK activation by berberine or metformin suppresses mitochondrial function, unfortunately, which in turn decreases oxygen consumption, inhibits gluconeogenesis, and increases glycolysis, thereby decreasing blood glucose. MET and BBR both reduce muscle hypertrophy, or the increase in new muscle tissue, by blocking type 1 to type 2 muscle fiber shifts, and this causes a more oxidative or endurance muscle phenotype with less force or growth potential, meaning a smaller, weaker muscle. MET and BBR both block the endurance training enhancement of insulin sensitivity, so that while the respective compound itself decreases blood glucose by increasing glycolysis and inhibiting gluconeogenesis, marked by an increase in lactic acid, that benefit that cardio, especially low-intensity, steady-state aerobic exercise, typically has on insulin sensitivity is blocked. So we know metformin significantly hinders strength and muscle gains in humans, and we know BBR does so in mice. BBR was shown to impair muscle metabolism by two mechanisms: impairing mitochondrial function, in turn stimulating atrogen-1, a muscle catabolic protein. This increased atrogen-1 then not only stimulated protein degradation, but also suppressed protein synthesis, causing muscle atrophy in mice. Since both MET and BBRs increase AMPK activity, and this protein is implicated by muscle metabolism and insulin sensitivity, we can be sure that it's the common element between the two. So what's the difference between the two? And what about GLP-1s that enhance insulin sensitivity by coupling insulin secretion to blood glucose levels? Well, berberine decreases LDL modestly by inhibiting PCSK9, an enzyme that reduces LDL receptor number. So by inhibiting it, there's an increase by BBR on LDL receptor, increasing LDL particle clearance from circulation. Indeed, BBR was shown to modestly lower LDL-C by about 24 milligrams per deciliter, or 0.62 millimoles per liter. Berberine increases insulin sensitivity directly, differently than GLP-1s, by increasing insulin expression and insulin receptor sensitivity directly. Both possess antioxidant effects. Metformin by affecting palmitate flux in skeletal muscle, berberine by effects on ROS. Berberine is a plant-based nutritional supplement that doesn't require a prescription. Berberine's bioavailability can be enhanced by combining with milk thistle or silymac. Metformin and Berberine have similar GI effects, generally modulating the gut microbiome, increasing short-chain free fatty acids, a good thing generally. BBR at 400 milligrams plus 100 milligrams silymarin or milk thistle, up to 1 gram of berberine plus 200 milligrams silymarin, has better anti-lipidemic effects and similar antioxidant effects versus 500 milligrams of metformin XR, while also serving to tamp down ferritin and potentially hematocrit before it gets too high. For more information about that, refer to the Gear Growth and Gains podcast episode 13 to listen to the segment about blood viscosity management. Since milk thistle is a potent iron chelator and heme augments hematocrit, it can further reduce thromboembolic risks. BBR plus milk thistle are additionally hepatoprotective or liver detoxifying. You don't need a prescription for either. They're herbal. GLP-1s modulate insulin sensitivity by coupling insulin sensitivity to blood glucose levels and suppress appetite. So long as you eat, and it might require force feeding, they are not ergolytic or performance hindering and only indirectly cause muscle atrophy by decreasing food intake, especially protein. They require prescription, are more expensive than berberine, and generally equally well tolerated. How you decide to weigh up these factors is your choice entirely. Nobody can stand in your two shoes for you. Listen up, all you enhanced fucks. The MesoRx forum at thinksteroids.com is your go-to source for everything enhanced. We're not just another board, we're the most trusted harm reduction community in the game. You should be looking only at unfiltered reviews where members don't bullshit. At Meso, they definitely tell it like it is. Don't waste time with shills. Visit thinksteroids.com/community and start posting now.
All right, this is for the beasts out there looking to take your gains to the next level who haven't yet read Bolus, a practical and reference guide for the use of human GH and GH secretagogues. This is not some bullshit bro science manual, nor is it a cynical money grab with some copied and pasted studies. Bolus is a game-changing practical and reference guide that is packed with real, research-based protocols that'll make it possible for you to reach stage-level conditioning and muscularity, if it's in the cards whatsoever, in short time and to a level impossible without this knowledge. Here's why you need this book in your life. Number one, it's got real protocols applied to real bodybuilders using compounds from GLP-1s to IGF-1s. We're talking bulk cut and recomp strategies that actually work. Number two, you learn how to interpret research like a pro. No more getting lost in the scientific jargon. This book teaches you how to look at these studies quickly. Number three, risk versus reward balancing. Because we're not here to fuck up our bodies, we're here to optimize.